2, hard, go planet!
By your powers combined, I am Captain Planet!
Captain Planet, he's our hero.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Captain Planet. In today's episode, we will be making our own habitable planet. That is right, we'll be making our own perfect little rock that's floating through infinite space. I'm your host, Brad Borg, as always, and let us begin. The first and most important thing we have to do, we have to name this planet. I've thought of quite a unique name. I called it Glazorpazorp 86. The reason why I called it Glazorpazorp is because it circles a G-type main sequence star. So yeah, I used the G from the G-type main sequence star and just gave it a fun name. Humans like to be selfish like that sometimes. Anyway, so my tiny little planet, I should say, is situated less than 1 astrological unit away from the star. Now, I should say an astrological unit is the distance it is between Earth and our sun. Alright, not between Mercury and the sun, because we don't care about Mercury. We're very self-centered people, us humans, so we like to do stuff that's just easier for us. So, between us and the sun. So it's just inside that distance, our little Glazorpazorp 86. So it can bring into a lot of factors. So being closer to its star, it can be hotter. Alright, not necessarily, but it can be. And it's more prone to UV radiation and solar flares. My little planet is formed through the debris of a supernova explosion. Like most planets are normally formed through the life and death of other planetary orbits. So we move on to the lithology of this planet. So what does this planet look like? What rocks are on this planet? I wanted to have this planet be of similar relevance to what Earth is, or similar to Earth, but just has its own little personality in a way. So in the early beginnings, it was molten rock wasteland like Earth was. However, due to it being just one big plate, there was a lot of hotspot volcanism which caused these large volcanic mountains like we see on Olympus Mons on Mars. Right, so Glazorpazorp 86 has this weird mountainous and large mountainous regions on this planet. And then most of all planets, as they started to form, plate tectonics starts to form, and subduction zones are a big key feature. When it actually happened, scientists are still working that out to this day. And there's also subduction zones also create volcanoes and shallow and deep earthquakes, depending on the subduction zone. So there's a small volcanic mountain belts that are around on our little planet in these subduction zones. It's got a bit of a red tinge, and that's due to the oxygen mixing with the iron. Oxygen's a very weird element, as it likes to cling to other things. When oxygen mixes with iron, it creates rust, and that's why Mars is a red planet, because it's basically just oxygen and iron has made this red tinge to it. The atmosphere of our Glazorpazorp 86, that is 15 times greater than the carbon on Earth. Now, I should say the carbon on Earth is only 0.05% of the total atmospheric composition. So 15 times, it's still under 1%, but that's still a lot of CO2 to be around to this day. But life can still form on these planets. Whether it's a being like us or one like the dinosaurs, there are still complex beings that can live on high carbon planets. Now, with this high carbon, it needs to be leveled out with something. You can't just have a lot of carbon and then just leave it there. So we introduce oxygen into this atmosphere. So oxygen is formed once free water becomes readily available to the planet. Right, and then we start to see all sorts of life coming out of this. Like most life on planets, it might start off something small. So it could start off as a type of fungal or algal blooms, which dominate when water is present. However, single-cell microorganisms can flourish, and they flourish in the most extreme of places. Life on Glazorpazorp 86 could become rapidly complex due to this carbon content. Without carbon, we wouldn't be here, guys. Now, that's just a brief little overview of what my planet would look like. That's it from me, guys. Hope to see you next time.